are going hungry. And so the disciples appointed 7 deacons to take care of making sure nobody went hungry. So what kind of ministry were the deacons doing? Practical help ministry. Making sure that people were fed. Making sure people had their daily food. And when they set the 7 deacons before the apostles, prayed, laid their hands on them, and the word of God increased, and the number of the disciples multiplied in Jerusalem greatly, and a great company of the priests were obedient to the faith. Do you think this threatened the Sanhedrin and the religious councils? Do you think they felt threatened by a ministry that was growing so fast and so rapidly that it made their ministry look hopelessly pathetic? Perhaps. Stephen, full of faith and power, did what? Great wonders and miracles among the people. So Stephen was involved in preaching, teaching, healing. Practical medical missionary work. And yes, the synagogue was not happy. And they started arguing with Stephen. And they were not able to resist the wisdom and spirit by which he spake. Then they suborned men which said, "We have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God." And they stirred up the people and set up false witnesses. They were going to put an end to someone that effective in ministry. Just like the Pharisees wanted to put an end to Jesus, who was so effective in his ministry. And just like Jesus, Stephen was martyred for a ministry full of faith and power. Jesus gives that same ministry to us. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. So, what is Christ commanding us to do here?
Good works.
Good works? What are the good works allowing us to do?
Glorify God.
Glorify God by letting our light shine. So here, our light is connected to our good works. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God. So let's get it straight. Christ is the one who saves us, but he saves us unto good works. Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 through 10, that we should walk in them. James brings up a very practical message in his book. James chapter 1, verses 21 and 22 read, "Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. But be ye doers of the word, which is able to save your doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves." And he gives a practical example of this. "If any among you seem to be religious, and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is" what?
Vain.
Vain, worthless, nothing, empty. Pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. So don't just hear about doing good things. Actually get to work and be a doer of the word. What does it profit, my brethren, if you say you have faith and have not works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, Depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doth it profit? Even so faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone. Yea, a man may say, Thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. So here, James makes it very clear and very practical that a Christian shows he is such by what he does to help other people. By how much like Christ he lives his daily life. What is our church like today? Yet they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness, and forsook not the ordinance of their God. They ask of me the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching to God. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Come on, why isn't Jesus come yet? Doesn't Jesus think the world's bad enough? Are we not holding enough GYCs? Maybe one more will do it. Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure, and exact all your labors, Behold, ye fast for strife and debate. Do we ever see strife and debate in the church? Nah, we couldn't. Perhaps we do. And to smite with the fist of wickedness. Do we ever find pleasure just go out and have fun even though it's meaningless, worthless, and might even hurt someone else? This is the fast that Christ has called us to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke. Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? When thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thine own flesh. Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of the Lord shall be thy reward. Then shalt thou call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and the Lord shall say, Here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and speaking vanity. If, and the list continues, thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters fail not. All summed up, the church's condition today is pathetic, pitiful. Jesus' ministry was powerful. The apostles' ministry was powerful. If we want to have a ministry that's powerful, if we want to see the light of the fourth angel of Revelation chapter 18 combined with the message of the third angel, then perhaps our light should spring forth speedily. Perhaps our good works should be seen among men. Perhaps we need to get involved in practical ministry to others.